Okay, let's go over the muscles of the lower extremity. So we're here in the anterior part of the leg. We have the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis. We have the sartorius muscle crossing over. We have the adductor muscles. Start with the gracilis. Okay, adductor magnus, adductor longus underneath there. Come around to the back side over here on the side. We have the TFL, tensor fascia lata muscle, and then the iliotibial tract on this side. Now, a couple of the things you might point out here. You can see where we have the femoral artery, okay, femoral nerve. If we take this off, you'll be able to see that a little bit better. The femoral nerve there, and of course the femoral vein. Now, if we come across to the back side, we have the hamstring muscles. Okay, we have the biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and then underneath there, a little hard to see, we have the semimembranosus muscle, which is underneath the semitendinosus muscle. Of course, now if we take these off too, you can see the nerve that comes down the back side. And we'll take that off. And you can see now the sciatic nerve. And we can also come up here and point out a few of the, you can probably saw the gluteus maximus muscle we took off right there. But we can also see some other very important muscles. So now that we've taken the gluteus maximus off here, we can see the gluteus minimus here. We can see the piriformis muscle. And then if you look really close, you can see three tiny little groups of muscles here. This one would be your superior gemellus, your obturator internus, and inferior gemellus here. And then right here, this muscle's kind of square. You can see the sciatic nerve crossing over the top of it. This is your quadratus femoris muscle, Then if we come down to the lower part, again, we're still on the back of the leg. Let's talk about the calf muscles. Just a few here. We have the two heads of the gastroc. So here, pointing down to, you can see the big toe. We have the medial head of the gastroc, lateral head of the gastroc, and then as a continuation of the gastroc, we have this large tendon here called the Achilles tendon. If we take that off, you can see underneath, on the underneath side of this, we have the soleus muscle. Okay, then if we turn over to the front compartment, now you can see the tibia here in the lower leg. This muscle right next to the tibia is anterior tibialis here. Okay, then if you look here at the next muscle going further out, coming down, separating to all the tendons of the toes, this is going to be your extensor digitorum here. Okay, remember the flexor muscles are in the back, the gastroc, so this is your extensor digitorum. And then two other muscles out here to the outside. You can see how they go to the back down here. You can see these are sometimes called the peroneus muscles, but this is where the fibula bone is underneath there. So if we were to take this off, you'd be able to see the fibula underneath. So we have the fibularis longus muscle and the fibularis brevis muscle. The only way you can differentiate these is down here where you can see the two tendons below. So you can see the fibularis longus here and then the fibularis brevis here. A couple of the things that we may want to point out here is the extensor retinaculum, which you can see down here. Remember we had a retinaculum up holding the wrist tendons tight. We have the same thing. Sometimes we call this the ballet slipper. Down here, the extensor retinaculum holding all of the tendons, extensor tendons of the foot. And then one other thing we might want to point out here is the large bones. Here, this would be, of course, the lateral malleolus, and then on the inside here, the large bone on the inside, the medial malleolus.